there's an ideal customer and an ideal promoter, and we all made a list of who your ideal customer is and who your ideal promoter is. If you're certain, just like we were talking about that certainty chair, like if you're certain of what your ideal client is going to look like and what your ideal promoter is going to look like, then you'll be able to, one, recognize that person when they're in front of you. And then you'll also be able to have that determination of like, okay, this is not my ideal promoter. This is not my ideal customer. So where am I putting my focus in, right? Same thing as we talked
Right.
about that high level Zoom that we just did. Like the focus, you can only focus on a little bitty 40 bits per second. You can only bring in just a little bit of information. Where's your focus going? Where's our focus going? So envision, like, what does your ideal customer look like? What traits, what qualities do they have? What benefits are they looking for, right? What benefits do they want from ketones? Or what is it like that you want them to want almost, right? So for me, it would be like, I'm looking for somebody who is open to learning or open to my coaching because they're coming to me for coaching as a customer. So they're open to that. They're not resisting it. They're not arguing with me. They're not telling me this is this or that is that. They're open to what I have to say. So I'm manifesting that, let's call it, right? I'm attracting that in. All right. So I go into every conversation knowing what role I play. And I have 100% certainty in the fact that I know that I'm going into this next conversation with this person, right? And I'm here knowing that, like, hey, this is what I'm going to talk about with them. I'm going to introduce them to ketones. They're going to drink them. They're going to love it. I'm going to answer their questions and everything is going to be great. And as long as you have that mindset and you go into it certain, knowing what you want, that is exactly the outcome that you're going to achieve, because your subconscious mind is not going to think anything other than what you are 100% certain of. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. It does. So we're like, literally, I say this all the time, and some people think I'm weird until they like see that I do it and they're like, oh my God, it works. I program my day. I program my life. It's just like The Sims. Did anyone else play The Sims when they were younger at all? Like, am I the only weirdo that played The Sims every time? Okay, Corey was weird. Any other
I
weirdo?
didn't. I really wish I did though. Like
Okay.
sometimes I wish I had the time in life to do that right
Yep.
now.
Oh, right now. Well, we are with our real life.
Well, you're right, actually. You're right.
We are playing that. We do get to program our day. We do get to program our life. We do say, this is what I want to achieve. Oh, here's our little game plan on how we're going to achieve it. Just like in The Sims, it's like, get up, go pee, eat, walk, go to work, think this, say this, do this. This is what's going to happen. And then you hit play and The Sims like, do, 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 do. That's what we're doing with ourselves. But most people don't even take the time to do that for their life or their day. Not because, oh my gosh, the Smart Sweets. I was been looking for them for like 2 days. My mouth just watered. She's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Sorry. So program your day, program your life. And back to my initial statement, now that people are jumping on, what does your ideal customer look like? Okay. Put it in the chat, unmute, give me 1 or 2 qualities that your ideal customer has. Don't make me pick names, because I will unmute for you.
Are we supposed to like speak out?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, my ideal customer is somebody that is open to communicating and learning and growing.
Love that. Love that. Chris Brown, how about you?
Okay, sorry. It's a little loud in my house, but I would say someone who is ready to commit to their health goals.
Love that. Mm-hmm. And that's what we want to focus on. Curious, seeking self-improvement. Yes. Ready for better. energized go-getter, willing to share, sick of being sick and tired. Ooh, I like that one. That's the good one too. See, these are things that we want to focus on. So if someone comes in arguing or this, or they're like asking you all these questions that they know that you don't know how to answer, because that's going to happen. There's always going to be objections. If we're 100% certain that we're looking for those qualities, someone who's willing to share, someone who's energized, someone who's a go-getter, someone who's curious, someone who seeks self-improvement, someone who's ready for better, someone who's sick of being sick and tired, what are you going to focus on that person? That's the complete opposite of that. If you're 100% certain that you're looking for that, no. I'm just going to go ahead and answer that one for you. You don't want to, your subconscious mind will be programmed to be like, skirt, it's like fire. We know not to go in fire. Same thing, kind of. Right? So now think about it from your ideal promoter. Like if the best promoter ever landed on your doorstep, what would that person say, think, feel, do, or whatever? Right? Like for me, oh my gosh, I want someone who literally just says, I have a lot of experience or no experience and a lot of excitement. Either one I'm cool with. I'm extremely ambitious. I'm very coachable. I will literally, I want you to just give me the steps and I want to do them because I trust you and I trust your coaching and I trust your trial and error. And I'm open to learning and collaborating and working and growing together. Oh, it's like music to my ears. Didn't that feel good when you heard that? So when a lot of the times people ask me, what do you say when someone does this? And what do you say when someone does that? I'm like, okay, I can get a whole paragraph about why the product and this, I drank half a pack and my pinky toe is numb and I pooped the walls and I think I'm seeing monsters and blah, 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 and da, da, da. And I just think, the sodium comes from eagle skin and da, 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 da. I've heard it all. And then they're just like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry that's your experience with it. Is there anything that I can do? I can recommend some tips. I don't just give them tips. I just ask, would you like some tips? And if they don't, that's okay because they don't fall into that. This is what I'm looking for. We're looking for people that are looking for us. We're not looking for the naysayers. So don't put your energy ever, ever, ever. And I only say this because I got sucked in this rabbit hole for several times. I still do sometimes. Don't get sucked into someone who's not looking for you. Someone who's not looking for the product. Support them, love them. Don't just cut them off completely and be like, be gone, you're doomed. But just know inside that people are going to say no. People are going to whatever, but it's okay. It's okay. Someone just Dominique said it's lagging. It's all good. So just always have that in your RAS, always have that in your reticular activating system. Just focus on it, keep it in there, make a sticky note. I actually have notes on my wall that I look at regularly and I remind myself of. So the next thing I want to talk about is the switches to passion. So a lot of the times our CEO, Brian Underwood, he talks a lot about your why and the importance of your why, right? And then Dustin is really good, as well as Michael, is really good at painting this vision and creating this picture and helping you dream big, right? A lot of the times people come into this and they don't know how to dream or they might not dream. I was one of those people. Dustin had to give me the toughest love to help me learn how to dream. Okay. I was just it just wasn't my jam. It wasn't because I didn't want to, I just never did it. I guess I was just always in go mode, hustle mode, survival mode, go, 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 go. It was never dream casting, vision casting, major goal setting. Yeah, I know what I want to achieve, but I never actually said, okay, I want this and I want this and I want this. And I'm going to reverse engineer the steps on what it takes to get that. And then I'm going to program my life and I'm going to get there. So Michael and Dustin were the two people that really pushed me. Actually, Cameron as well. Cameron's played a major role in that too. Probably one of the most important roles. So there's even more deep into that you can go. And I actually just recently learned this when I started training with Steph and Shay. I guess it was about a year ago now almost. And, you know, this really shifted my perspective. It was something that stood out to me. And it's the 4 switches to passion. So it's not just your why. So right now, before I read you these 4 switches, think about your why. Think about why you're doing this. Like, why are you in business right now? Right? We have a product why, right? We have our health journey why, but let's right now focus on our business perspective why. And something I actually really learned 2 years into this was your why should really start with you. My why never was me. At all these events are like, write your why down. And I'm like, my kids, my family, and I want to make everyone happy. Except for like, I never did that for myself. Ever. Never even thought about that. And then one time, like someone said it, they're like, did anybody write themselves? And there was like 4 people. I'm like, oh, I'm such an a-hole, like to myself, you know? So your why should always start with you, because if you're not happy, you doing for other people or things isn't going to make you happy either. And that's the most important. And I had to figure out, I lost myself for a long time. I'm like, I'm a mom and I just take care of my kids and I do the right thing and I set a good example and I go and I clean the house and I do this and I work and I provide. But what about me? So think about for a second, what's your why, right? You and your happiness, but what are you going to do with that happiness once you achieve that? Not once you achieve it, you're happy right now, but what do you want to do with your happiness? What do you want to do after you love yourself? You want to travel with your kids? Do you want to provide stability, structure, positive influence by leading by example and showing people what happiness is, what happiness looks like? Think about that, right? What's your why? Do you do it for financial freedom? Do you do it to support someone? Do you do it to support 5 people? Do you do it to maybe contribute? You know, I have a lot of people I talk to that are wives, that their husbands were always the breadwinners and they've wanted to also contribute. You know, maybe it's vice versa. Maybe you're a stay-at-home dad and your wife takes more of the responsibility than you do and you want to contribute. Maybe you're a single dad and you are the contributor, right? Or maybe you're not a parent at all and you've got animals, or maybe you don't even have animals. You're loving on yourself, right? So just always remember and come back to your why. Your why is what's going to drive you. It's going to remind you why you're doing this in those times when you're like, oh, I don't know. What's your why? Why are you doing it? Is it worth it? Is it worth walking away? Is it worth quitting something, anything, not just this business, anything because of something silly? Well, not when you remember your why, then it's not, because you're doing this for a reason. You're building this for a reason. You're doing life for a reason and you have a purpose. So always come back to your why. And deeper than that is those 4 switches of passion. You only need one of these 4 switches on, okay, to ignite passion. There's 4 of them. You only need one of them on to ignite passion, okay? It doesn't just have to be one or the other. It can be more than one. But 4 switches to passion, as long as at least one of these is on, you're good to go. So the first one is what? Like, I do this because I love what I do. They're doing it like I'm doing this because I love it. Me personally, I love it. I love what I'm doing. Okay, that would be someone who's doing it for the what. Like they like actually doing it and they like the act of doing it. Okay. So then there's also the person, number 2 switch is the how. Okay, like how you're doing it. They love how you're doing it. I just love doing this because I love my strategies. I love doing this because I'm so precise and I'm doing it. Maybe some people will think I'm doing it better than this other person, or more creative or more innovative or more whatever fits their needs, their niche. but they're in love with the way that they do it, how they do it. And they take pride in the way that they do it, right? They're just like, I love how I do. I can like, I'm passionate about that. I'm like, I love my strategies. I love our team. I love how we have things set up. Like, I love how we do this. I love what we do, but I love how we do this together, right? Because we're all here to rise each other up. Clearly, I'm passionate, right? Number 3, the who. They're doing it almost for someone else. Not that you're letting go of yourself. So it's not like that. But you're doing it for other people. You're doing it to have a purpose. Like, I'm doing this to help everyone. Like, some people come into this, and we'll talk about this at another time, but when you're launching a new promoter, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, sometimes I ask, why they're doing it. And if you've ever had someone say, I just want to help people, well, one, those are the people that definitely want to make money the most, and they're just not like in tune with verbalizing that yet. But 2, they correlate their success based off of just helping other people. It doesn't matter whether you correlate different than someone else, because helping someone equals success in this business. Success in this business equals helping people. They're equal. There's not one that's more or less than the other. They're equal. We help people, we make money. We make money if we help people. That's just how we roll. There's like so the person that's money motivated isn't greedy. The person that is helping people motivated isn't not strategic about money or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's who they're doing it for more. And then number 4 will be the why. Doing it for a cause, more like Dustin. He's like, my goal is to make a shift in this world. And he's already helped 1 million people, him and his wife. So now their next goal is 2 million people. So in his organization, he has over 1 million people. That was his goal when he came in to Prove It, was to speak on stage in front of this many people, to help 1 million people and whatever else. He's achieved those goals. And now he's setting new ones. I just got off a call with him right before this, and he had to like give me a little chickadee check right quick. We were all discussing like a team thing, and he's like, I don't know if you realize this, Samantha, but me and Michael like slept in like motels for the first year, like shared a bed. I mean, he's like, we slept in a car at one point. Like, I had to get a little check, you know what I mean? Because he does this for a purpose. He had that purpose. He's very passionate about it. So those are those 4 switches. Which one are you? Or 2, or 3, or 4? Are you any of those at all? Is there anybody that feels like they're not any of those switches with this business? Maybe not yet, like, because there's some new people on here. No, okay. Can anybody think of at least one of the switches that this aligns with this business? Yeah. Okay. So that's another important awareness to have. Know your passion. Know why you're doing this. Okay. I have that on my wall, printed right there, the 4 switches to passion, because it's not just about me. It's about helping the people that you bring on, both with a customer and a promoter. If you're bringing someone into this business, you want to have all the awarenesses that we just talked about the last 24 minutes or whatever. Learn this stuff for yourself, but learn it also with the intention to reiterate it and teach it and use it on people that you're bringing in too. Because this is only knowledge if it's only words if it doesn't go into action, or whatever the saying is. So make sure you're keeping this like for intentional purposes. All right. So I wrote down here something that it caught my eye. When you're deciding something, this is a question that I ask people, by the way, and it's such a game changer. When you're deciding something, is it more important that it looks right, sounds right, feels right, or makes sense? Can you imagine if like you answered that question? Like if someone asked you that question for every decision that you were trying to make, I feel like it would make life a lot easier. It's like the basic foundation of communication. These 4 questions are basically you saying, hey, how do you learn? That's it. Is it most important if it looks right, sounds right, feels right, or makes sense? So if I ask you, I'll use you for an example, Jay Spoons. When it comes to making a decision, is it most important that it looks right, sounds right, feels right, or makes sense?
Do I get to pick 2?
Sure.
The last 2.
The last 2. So it needs
It's a gut feeling. It has to feel right. But along with feeling right, I have to be able to make sense out of it.
Perfect. Yep. So if someone said that to you guys, would you feel confident in knowing that you could drive the conversation in supporting the fact that he's mainly focused on the way it's gonna, his intuition, like you gotta make him feel good, but you also have to give him some stuff to make sense. By the way, I'm the same. Those are my 2 also. I'm like, it's here and it's here, but it's like if you didn't know those 2 things, do you think the conversation that you're having with Jay Spoons would be the same? What if he switched it up? What if we switched it and said, you know what? I care most about the way it has to like look right to me, and it needs to sound right. They're different conversations. They're different conversations. If someone said to me with the ketones that it has to make sense and it needs to feel right, I'm even going to use those phrases like 100 times in the conversation, by the way. Here's another super high level pro tip here. Use the language that your client is using. Match their tone, match their energy, match their words. If they're talking like this and they're like, it has to look right and it has to feel right, guess how I'm answering? Girl, this is going to look amazing and you are literally going to feel like a new human. Like it's going to feel so right. Just like that. I didn't say anything other than what they said. I repeated, reassured, mirrored, matched their energy, bada bang. And they're just like, wow, that girl just, man, we connect. I don't know what it is. Right? But like, if they're like, oh, you know, for me, I get really excited. It just makes sense. I want it to make sense, and I want to like see it, and I want it to like feel right. So I'd be like, listen, you know, I'll send you some resources that'll help explain it. It'll help you make sense of it. So that way you'll have it in writing, you'll have a visual, you can look back on it and kind of marinate on it all. And here's a sample so you can taste it, you know, bring it home, smell it, do whatever you want with it. Boom. Match their energy. We're literally like, hey, what do you desire? And they're like, oh, I desire this. And then we're like, oh, here's what you desire. That's how simple this is. It's all just asking the right questions, being in a place where you're really aware and in control of the conversation, because you're always in control of the conversation. You're always in control of the conversation. So wherever your focus goes, your energy is going to flow and the conversation is going to follow that. So, you know, the language I would use to ask someone coming on board, a customer, when it comes to the ketones, what's important to you in regards to your health journey? You know, is it that you want it to like make sense? Do you want numbers? Do you want to feel, you know, are you looking for a certain feeling, a certain benefit? Do you want me to explain, you know, the way it, like, does it sound, how do you care about how it sounds? Like, do you want to hear the sound is like the audio, like sound, verbal. It could be a video, visual, and sound. But when they say sound, it's not like, how do the ketones sound? It's just the way they learn. And then look, does it look right? That's anybody that says it needs to look right. I'm like, visuals. I throw visuals with everything. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm always like, hi, this is everything that you need to know. And I'm going to send you a visual when we're done so you can go back and reference it. And that way you can make sense of it. Okay, does that sound good? How many of those did I just touch? All 4. All 4. It's always my goal. It's always my goal. If you practice this long enough, you will always touch all 4. And people will never say no to you. Ever. It's pretty powerful stuff, I'm telling you. Master this right here. Confidently remind yourself that you are always in control of the conversation and the questions that you ask and the tones that you use, the language that you use. As long as you're intentional, you can cover all 4 of the audio, visual, sound, touch, feel, heart, mind, numbers, all of it without being overwhelming. And that's a masterpiece. And that's what my goal is to help everybody do. That's always my intention, always. So the difference between a super achiever who's a millionaire or a billionaire versus just an achiever is someone who's striving for those levels of income, who actually takes action and isn't just pondering. Like, I can talk to you guys all day long. We could do one-on-one coaching calls all day long. But if you're not like putting the stuff into action, that's the difference between a millionaire who's extremely super ambitious overachiever versus someone who just wants to ponder all the time. Because we can ponder all day. We can want it all day. We can wish it, we can dream it, we can vision board it, we can talk about it, we can manifest it, we can program it. But if we're not putting it to action, doesn't matter. It's a good idea. And we don't want to just have good ideas. We want to make sure that we're making our dreams come true. We're programming our life. We're creating the reality that we want. And we are all here on this Zoom right now or watching the replay because we're striving for more. We're striving for better. We want this business. We want to grow this for whatever reason, whatever switch of passion that switch is on for you. That's why we're doing this. So take action every day, all day. Take action every day, all day, because that's what it's going to take. And I don't mean like take action every day, all day by any, you know what I mean? Like go have a life, go have a family, have fun, but make intentional time blocks and take action every day during those time blocks. That's better. That's more Samantha. Time blocks. Family is important to me. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is, well, one, actually, I want some feedback. I want to hear from you guys. You guys have any thoughts? Do you have any takeaways? Do you have any like aha moments or light bulb moments or anything from what we just talked about? Or are you guys just so mind blown right now that you have no words?
Okay, well, I'll talk because, you know, I'm never shy. So
I'm like, someone talk to me.
I'll talk to you all day long. I already do, I feel like. So honestly, this is, so like the what, how, who, why, all that stuff, you know, we've heard a lot of those terms throughout, but in this situation, it's completely different. And honestly, it's a little intimidating for me because I'm thinking, okay, well, I totally know, you know, why I do this, but honestly, I should really figure out the other ones too for me. So that way, when someone else might be coming from a different standpoint, I can relate to them and help them and where they're coming from, you know, within. And then the other thing too, when you're deciding something, what's more important, you know, if it looks right, sounds right, feels right, or makes sense. And again, that's another thing. It's like, I need to really think about what that is for every person and being able to kind of be a chameleon and understand where people are coming from. And that's challenging. So my aha moment is more of an oh crap moment. Like I need to like absorb and learn and grow. That's my oh crap moment, not aha. So.
That's powerful. That is good. Hey, that was me when I first heard this too. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing it all wrong. Like, how did I not know this before? And I had an oh crap moment. I was like, oh my gosh, I've probably been scaring everybody away this whole time because I'm just talking like in one direction all the time. It's the one way that I think and know. And that's something that's been my major focus, is focusing on hearing other people, hearing what they want. And I know we, like you said, we always hear this stuff, but it's always about where you are in the game, where you are in your day, where you are in your business. You hear it and you hear it differently. You hear it and you hear it differently. You meet people where they're at. And you don't know where they're at if you don't ask them half the time. So we're shooting in the dark if we're not asking. We're like, there's 4 directions. We can either ask what direction you would like for, I mean, I would love it if everyone was just like, how would you like me to talk to you? And I'm like, really? Everybody? Like, that would make me so happy if everyone just spoke my language. And we all go through life trying to communicate with people and figure out their language. And then there's insecurities, and then there's frustrations within themselves, frustrations with other people. And that's, I mean, majority of our world is miscommunication. A lot of the stuff we do, it all comes down to someone not being properly, someone perceiving something differently, somebody understanding something differently, not clarifying the message, something that Mitch says all the time. Oh my gosh, such a great awareness. When someone explains something to you, if you feel triggered, which happens to me a lot, take a second. And if you feel like they're saying something that's personal or directed towards you and they're in conversation with you, say, okay, I just want to make sure that I'm clear. What I'm hearing is da, 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 da. Because 95% of the time you're going to be like, oh my gosh, no, that is definitely not what I was trying to say at all. Hold on. Let me rephrase that really quick because let me find a, that was no, not your fault, my fault. Let me change my language. No one's fault. It's just communicating, right? It's just communicating. Easier said than done. So we'll just leave that at that. Have that awareness though. It's huge. Huge. Ask it a million times a day. Oh wait, you want the bowl. So what I'm hearing is you want the bowl, right? Like literally do that because you'll start doing it with things that you'll actually need it with. And it's so important. You gonna say something?
I often realize that I do these things subconsciously without realizing it, but then when I go to do them, I can't do them. I'm going to give you the example. My children, my 2-year-old will be 3 next month, and he's starting to talk very fluidly. So when he talks to me, I repeat what he's saying back to him and then respond. Why am I doing this to a 2-year-old, but I can't do this in my business? Like it literally just clicked just now that if I treat this like literally, I say I treat everyone like my best friend. That's what I'm striving to be. But if I treat everyone like, like you expect to be treated, but literally like my child, because I treat my children with the most love and respect, not in any downplay, but just they're my babies, right? So if I treat everyone like that with that love and that clarity and that you are welcomed here, there's my switch.
Yep. And you are heard and you are understood because
Right.
Yep. Just like there's 4 switches, there's also multiple desires. And I don't have that down for today, but we can talk about like people's desires. Like you just said, like clearly you want to be heard. Is that what you just said? Heard, right? Right. So usually what we do to people, what we reassure people, it's just like love languages. But what we reassure people is with the things that we want to be reassured with. And that's not always what other people want to be reassured with. So they're like, why is this lady over reassuring something that I'm not even worried about? And then guess what happens? Another miscommunication. It's crazy.
This is such a good topic. I could literally throw out examples for days. So now I'm thinking about motherhood again, because that's my life. And I'm thinking about baby wearing. So if you know anything about baby wearing, there's a specific way to do it. But oftentimes, just like car seats, we don't want to tell other mothers, hey, in the state of Pennsylvania, you're supposed to have your car seat facing backwards until the child is age of 2, yada, yada. You don't want to say those things because then it's like a stab in the throat, like you just dash someone. Time out. How would I want someone to address that to me? Like kindness. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I literally have the chills. Okay.
I love that. I love that. I love that
Hey, it's Dami, and I'm just chiming in too because of everything you're saying and like Holly's saying, it definitely gives me a boost of confidence to actually talk to people because I'm sitting there and not feeling that like that scaredness or that uncertainty like we've been talking about. So
Yep.
yeah, I love the Zoom as well.
Yay. Yay. Listen, these little awarenesses, they're kind of simple when we hear it, and then it's like, oh my gosh, it's so simple that I understand it immediately and I get to apply it immediately. Yay. Like, look how fast it's making sense because it's simple, which is good. These are simple things. They're just awarenesses. I use that word a lot because gosh, they matter. Awarenesses are everything. They're just awarenesses. So, okay, it's stabbing me. Let's see what else I have written down. Oh, I have so many good things. Okay, so what holds us back? What holds us back usually? What holds us back? Distractions. Distractions. Does anybody feel like they're held back by distractions in anything in life? Anybody? Oh my gosh, no way. You guys are lying. You're lying. You're lying. Everybody gets distracted. Everybody gets distracted. Like, when was like, you could be doing one thing and then possibly focus on another. You can, in your mind, intentionally like focus on one thing. There's always gonna be something that can distract us, whether it's something big, something small. Yes. So what our homework will be, what does that say? Don't get distracted. Alarm.
No, it
Alarm
was
distracted you.
TikTok. I'll go on my phone to answer one message, right? Because I have one message. And then I'm like, oh, but I have a comment on TikTok. I should check that. And then it turns into the spiral that like that's my problem. That is what I need to actively work on. And I'm glad that I can say this and it's recorded. So this is what I'm going to do next week. You could check in with me. I'll do it. Okay.
Everyone hold accountable.
Please, seriously, I set my intentions that when I pick up my phone, I'm going to only spend time answering messages. And then answering messages turns into, but I'm answering comments that turn into messages. So that's the same thing. Well, I need to like hold myself accountable for like a 15-minute period of this is how long I'm going to spend doing this. And then I'll move on to XYZ. And
Yes.
having those little chunks throughout the day is your time blocking, right? But in my world, it's 15 minutes of answering, and literally like I need to set a timer on my watch, 15 minutes. This is what I can do, and not to micromanage my life because I don't want it to seem like that's what I want to do, but to keep myself accountable because I deserve that. I deserve it.
Well, you do deserve it, and you don't want to micromanage it because you have a negative tie to micromanage. Instead, you just need to accept the fact that you're programming your life because you want to achieve your goals. And these are the things that it takes to achieve your goals because you've reverse engineered it and figured out in order for you to find the success that you want within your business, you need to have 15 minutes minimum of XYZ and 10 minutes minimum of XYZ. So it's not micromanaging and it's not negative. That's what you got to do. It's a good thing. You're programming. You're
Cool.
manifesting.
I'm going to do that. Programming, micromanaging. I'm going to cross that out and change it to programming.
Yep. I do the same thing. I do timers. I have time blocks. People see my calendar sometimes and they're like, what? You have so many things to do. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like 15 minutes of commenting back, 15 minutes of hashtag engagement, 15 minutes of this, 15 minutes of this. Like it's a bunch of little mini time blocks. Because I know what I want and I know what I want to achieve and I know what I got to do to get it. All right. So homework is going to be make a list of your distractions. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Doesn't have to be beautiful. You put it in your notes. You could do it throughout the week. Just make a note in your phone. Actually, I'll make it easy for you guys. Make a note in your phone, whether you're an Apple person or a non-Apple person, make a note in your phone and make it your distractions list. And all week long, randomly, it's going to be in your RAS. So you're going to be like walking down the street and you're going to be like, oh my God, this is one of my distractions. And you're going to remind yourself to put it on your list. So by the time we meet next week at this time, you're going to have a list of distractions. It could be 3, it could be 100. I don't know, but there's a reason for it. So pretty please do it. Okay. I promise it's for your own good. It's worth it. And I am going to close us out with reading. Why is that backwards? That's not what I wanted. There we go. Reading some questions that I also have on my wall. I have 3 things on my wall. The 3 things I have on my wall are the 4 switches to passion to remind myself of how to talk to myself as well as talk to others. The questions that you need to ask yourself, which is what I'm about to read you right now, and my big effing goals that are non-negotiable in 2020. And 60% of that is crossed off. Programming. Okay. So that's what I want you guys all to do. And we'll actually do some goal setting activities at some point, and I'm going to share with you what has changed my life when it comes to breaking down goals into literally quarterly, monthly, like everything. And it's incredible and it blew my mind. And clearly it's working. I can't believe it. Yes, I can. All right. So the questions you need to ask yourself. And I'll send this in the chat as well. So you guys can print this, save it, whatever you want, put it as your background, stick it on your wall, or never do anything with it. Totally up to you. Number 1, how can I produce more results? How can I produce more results? How can I produce more results? I ask myself this question all day long. It's like, I don't even need to ask it anymore. My brain just does it. How can I produce more results? How can I produce more results? That's all I want all the time. How can I produce more results? Example, make more money, be whole, well, complete, in less time, get further, faster. How can I produce more results? How can I produce more results? That's probably why I'm always making systems and strategies, because my brain is like, how can I, okay. Always ask yourself that. Question number 2, what beliefs do I need to let go of in order to achieve my goal? Marinate on that for a second. What belief do I need to let go of in order to achieve my goal? Not a new belief that you need to attain. What belief, what story do you tell yourself that you need to let go of in order for you to get to where you want to be? That you know is holding you back, and you know you need to let that shit go. Think about that all the time. Number 3, what new beliefs must I adopt in order to achieve my goal? Yep, Tabby makes you step back, check yourself, because it's true. We all have things that are holding us back. So what are the new beliefs that I must adopt in order to achieve my goal? What are these new stories that you need to tell yourself? Okay. Number 4, who do I need to let go of in order to achieve my goals? Both within myself and others. That's like a deep loaded question we could go in spirals with. Who do I need to let go of to achieve my goals for both myself and others? Like, it could be someone within you. It could be someone that you're emotionally tied to, that you're letting hold yourself back, that you're letting hold you back. Okay. So always, always, always ask that. Number 5, who do I need to become in order to achieve my goals? So you just let go of someone. So who do you need to become? It's not like, I don't need to change myself. I'm me. Yeah, that's fine. We're all me. But like, we can all grow, shift, and change too, because no one's perfect. So who do I need to become in order to achieve my goals? You okay?
No, I broke my hand really hard.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want an ice pack? Okay. He bumped his head really hard. He's mad. You okay?
No.
Okay. Number 6, 7, 6. Oh, what? Well, number whatever. 6. Okay, yeah, thank you. I'm like, I don't even know. Number 6. What habits do I need to let go of in order to achieve my goals? It's okay.
And did you get the 100% view
I did. I'm also on a call. Can I finish up real quick? Yes. I'll get it for you right when I finish. I'm almost done. Did you get 100% beef hot dogs is what he just asked me. Literally. Okay, number 6. What habits do I need to let go of in order to achieve my goals? Number 7. What do I need to be doing to achieve my goals? What do I need to be doing to achieve my goals? Well, that's a simple. What do I need to do? We're going to reverse engineer and program right there. Okay. What do I have little of and want more of? Ooh. Could be abundance, could be awareness, could be gratitude, could be physical, could be mental, could be spiritual, could be emotional. What do I have little of and want more of? Number 9 is what I'm doing right now. Oh, I have this on my refrigerator. Is what I'm doing right now assisting me to achieve my goals? I need that reminder when I go to my fridge sometimes. Is what I am doing right now assisting me in achieving my goals? Is it getting me where I want to be? Telling you I had to put that on my refrigerator in order to lose weight. It had to happen. It's just how I roll. I also have it on a couple other sticky notes throughout my house. Okay. Number 10 is what I'm doing right now in alignment with what a millionaire would be doing. Is what I am doing right now, whatever it may be, in alignment with what a millionaire would be doing. Because the last time I checked, I don't know, let's take a quick call. Who on here wants to be a millionaire? Right? So is what you're doing right now in alignment with what a millionaire would be doing? Because that's where you want to go, right? So just ask yourself these questions regularly. Like I said, I have it on my wall. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I didn't want to yell and ask him across the house. So ask yourself these questions regularly, like every day. Post it on your wall. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you, do it. It's good. It's a reminder. I have one upstairs next to where I walk into my bathroom too, like next to my bed. It's little. That one's little. It's just even seeing it. I don't have to read it. Even seeing it is a reminder now because I know what the questions are. You know what I mean? It's just the reminder of seeing it like, oh yeah, is what I'm doing in alignment with my goals. What do I need to let go of? What awarenesses do I need to have? What do I need to become? What do I need to do? Is what I'm doing in alignment with what a millionaire would be doing? Is what I'm doing right now getting me to where I want to be? What habits do I need to let go of? What habits do I need to adopt? All the time. Do you know how self-aware you will be? So good. You'll be floating. So I'm going to leave it at that. We're at 54 minutes. You guys are awesome for listening to me talk for that long. Freaking proud of you guys. Does anybody have any questions, awarenesses, aha moments, holy moly moments, or whatever, or anything that you want to ask, share, contribute, or do before we jump off? Going once, going twice. I just want to welcome a couple new people onto the call. If not, well, the real Slim Shadys, please stand up. Will you guys introduce yourself? There's 2 of you. There you are. I see you're next to each other on my screen. You can unmute and say, hey, we're all cool here. I promise. We're normal. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but it'll make you feel better next time.
Hi, I'm Katie. New here. Just starting ketones today, actually. Haven't even drank them, but I'm a promoter and I'm selling them already before I drink them. So, hey.
Yeah. And so you're a teacher and you have kids. And
yes, I'm a first grade teacher from Omaha, Nebraska. I have 3 kids, 7, 4.5, and 2.5. And I just want to better myself and better my family, my mood, my health, and bring others along with me.
You're so awesome. You're so awesome. Yay. And Mr. Spoons, with the he gets the accent.
That was very fancy.
Fancy.
Yeah. For those, I guess, who weren't here at the early part, up in Cleveland, Ohio, I think at like 1:30 in the morning last night is when I officially became a promoter. So this is like, 20 hours, not quite even into it at this point. Single dad, my daughter and I. It's just kind of been her and I for the last 8 years or so. And so she's my wife for everything.
You're so awesome. I freaking love you. You guys are all awesome. Seriously, this is the best team, and it's not just because it's our team, but like it seriously is. And I know not everybody's on here right now, but it fills my cup, and it makes me happy to know that we have a group of badass people that are all pursuing better, supporting each other. We lift each other up. It's open mic. We're all comfortable together. We help each other, and I hope that environment, that you guys feel that coming into this. So welcome to the team. You too, Dane. I just saw him walking by. There he is. Hey. All right. Well, you guys are awesome. Thanks for jumping on. I'll post the replay in the chat right when we get off of here. Thanks for everything. You guys are amazing. And hopefully this resonated. Okay. And if you have any questions or thought later on, then send me a message and we'll chat. Bye.